Okay, so I have my blank cut out. I've got my arbor all situated. I actually goofed up the inside diameter of this a little bit. It's a little bit large, so it doesn't fit the input shaft of that perfectly, but it's not really going to matter. This is only going to be kind of a temporary worm wheel anyways, and as such this is probably going to be a temporary worm gear. I made a couple of big heavy-duty washers, I guess you could say, to secure, one to secure the work on this end, the other to secure my arbor in the dividing head. I've gone through this a couple of times preemptively to determine whether or not I've got the correct formula sorted out to give me 17 teeth. And it's a good thing I went through this because I did screw up. Actually, I screwed up twice. The first time I got my lines crossed on here. I thought I was going 2 times around and 6 holes. That didn't do me any favors. That gave me like 19. The second time around, I got the right line here, gave myself 2 turns and 18 holes. But unfortunately, what I did not do was I was counting the hole that I was starting in. So I was counting where this was parked as my number 1 and then adding my 18 from there. And I don't know if it'll show up on the video or not, but you can see the 2 scratch marks there. So anyways, that was exactly why I wanted to test drive this. So now that I've got the dividing head sorted out, the other issue I have is I'd forgotten I do not have a arbor or collet for this half-breed mill. So I am going to have to get the Cochran Bly set up to perform this operation. Not that it hurts my feelings or anything, but I'm just going to have to move this over, figure out what degrees I want to swing the head to, and then set up the slitting saw that I want to use. Another thing that dawned on me, since this is not a perfect worm gear anyways, what I'm probably going to try to do is, one, I'm going to try to figure out what area along here works the best, and then eliminate the rest of it. 2, I'm probably also going to go back through after the fact and try to clean up the areas that aren't quite right, you know, to the best of my ability. So anyways, when it's all said and done, I may wind up only with, you know, like a couple of teeth on here, or a couple of threads, whatever. I don't know how you want to say it exactly. But anyways, so, oh, and another thing is, I'm not entirely sure that this is the right diameter. So I may have myself goofed up on that also. But this whole thing is experimental anyways. When I get this machine, when I come up with whatever size motor is going to be, you know, the long-term permanent motor for this thing, that's when I want to try to make sure that I've got all of these things, all these issues ironed out. To start off with, it's just going to have a 1 horsepower motor. Basically, it's just to get the thing moving under its own power, start working out the motor controls on it, yada, yada, yada. And of course, with this being aluminum, it could shear the teeth right off of this thing anyway, so it may not make any difference whatsoever. But this is a test run. This is a test of your emergency machining system. So, oh, and I almost forgot to mention, it's probably too late in the video, but this piece of metal was actually donated by Kimber Zellick. I've had it just sitting there on the end of the lathe for, I don't know, over a year now. And it just happened to be the perfect size to secure this piece of this aluminum blank with. So anyways, hopefully tomorrow or the next day, I will get the dividing head situated on the Cochran Bly and get the head swung around to the right angle, or what I think is the right angle, and get the mill set up to start cutting something that looks like a worm wheel. Even when I do get the initial cuts made, I'm probably still going to have to go back over them by hand or something to get a tooth form that I like. Well, it's not really a good rendition of it, but basically I'm going to have to finalize a tooth form, because I'm not going to have the form of it that I want from those cutters right there. So at any rate, I will catch up with you guys hopefully tomorrow when I'm over here on this machine.